had another song in mind for today, but as I kept looking through my music, this one came up 3 times. So, okay, I guess I'll do this one.
That's right. Perfect. Well, first of all, I would like to thank Dorothy and the rest of the board and all of you for your prayers. It was and has been and perhaps will continue to be quite a journey, quite a health journey. But through your prayers over these last many months, here I am. Here I am. It was almost 1 year ago today when I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma. And I know I did not share that with you for quite a few months because I had to get used to that myself. And once I was able to share it with you, the love, the prayers were just outpouring. So thank you again. And it's so interesting that my word for the year, my name that was brought to me through Spirit last Sunday is gratitude. So I am so grateful. And I am pleased to be up here, back in the saddle, so to speak, to share the message of Spirit with you. And this first slide will indicate to you that the title of our message, our lesson this morning is Beloveds. Beloveds, my sisters, my brothers, my neighbors. This morning I invite you to recognize and embrace who you are. You know, we may look differently physically, and we may have grown up in different households and different parts of the country and even different parts of the world. We may even disagree. And in fact, I'm sure we do disagree on a number of issues that we feel are most important.
That's right.
But that's all right. We are family. We are community. Next slide, Dorothy. And in fact, in 1 John 4th chapter, 7th verse, it reads, "Let us love one another, for love is God, and everyone that loves is born of God and knows God." We are family in God. We are family in love. I love what Martha Smock says. Martha Smock was the editor of Daily Word magazine for over 30 years. Yes. And she was also a well-respected author. She wrote many books. And one of the books that is really close to my heart, and a book that I took a lot of the things that I will be sharing with you today, is titled Listen, Beloved. And that book begins with a poem that I will be sharing with you right now. Do you hear me? I'm speaking to you. Not words, but in your inmost heart. In the silence of your soul, I am the Christ in you. I speak, yet it is not I, but the Father who speaks. I am the Christ in you, the beloved of the Father in you. Do you hear me? I'm speaking to you now. I'm speaking to you of infinite possibilities that are before you, of wonderful powers that are within you. I'm speaking to you of mysteries of the Spirit, of everlasting love, of unending eternal life. I'm speaking to you of inner reality and an outer realization. I'm speaking to you of greatness and goodness, of dreams fulfilled, of prayers answered, of appreciation of things present, of anticipation of things to come. Listen, beloved. And the poem goes on to say, O loving Christ, I am listening. Listening with all my being, listening with an intensity of concentration. I hear your voice within me, strong and sure and clear, saying, I am that in you which never falters, never fails. I am that in you which is strong and steady. I am that in you which gives you strength and courage and overcoming power. I hear you, loving Christ. I am renewed in faith. I am inwardly strengthened. I am filled with confidence. I expect good and right outcomes to every situation. I expect difficulties to melt away. I expect mountains to move aside. I do have faith. I do believe that all things are possible. I can do all things through you. Oh, loving Christ, I am listening. Breathe, yes. As I was sharing that poem, did you recognize yourself as the beloveds? Did you feel the Christ within you, speaking to you powerfully and lovingly? I did. A while ago when I first read this poem, I got chills. I could feel the Christ within. I could recognize and embrace myself as the beloved. I wanted to share that with you this morning. Because as I was creating this message, I could feel and I could hear Martha Smock whispering to me, Jackie, the congregants at Unity of Carlsbad would love to hear this. You are my beloveds. We are each other's beloveds. You are God's beloved. The Christ within you never falters, never fails. The power of the Christ is always available to you as strength, courage, confidence, faith, imagination, and so much more. I want to share something rather personal. My experience of growing up, born and raised in the segregated South, taught me many things. And one of the things it taught me was to rely on the powers within me. Now, as a little girl growing up, I didn't, know the concept of powers within me, but I knew that I was strong. I knew I was confident in a lot of ways. Even though I was shy, I knew I had confidence. And I definitely had quite an imagination. And even though my father's theology was not unity theology, he was a Baptist minister, the Christ within him that was expressed demonstrated to me how I wanted to live. Next. So when I saw him respond to dehumanizing insults with acts of faith and courage and strength and confidence, I learned the true power that he possessed and used. He showed patience, kindness, compassion towards certainly his family and friends, but just as importantly, he showed patience, kindness, compassion towards those who treated him with disrespect and animus. Martin Luther King Jr., next slide, relied on being God's beloved to see him through great challenges while leading the civil rights movements of the 50s and 60s. He and his wife Coretta often spoke of the beloved community. Next slide. The beloved community is not a place, it's a state of mind. It's a high state of consciousness that demonstrates the goodness that is God, the love that is God, the peace that is God, and the justice that is God. The beloved community is not exclusive, it's inclusive. We can all be members of the beloved community by living from a consciousness of peace, of love, of social equity, and freedom from prejudice. Love, peace, social equity, freedom from prejudice. We all have within us the ability to express that, to raise our consciousness and be the beloved community together. Next slide. When King was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964 for the courageous work that he had done to promote civil rights through nonviolent means, he said in his acceptance speech, and I quote, "Nonviolence is the answer to the crucial political and moral questions of our time. The need for man to overcome oppression and violence without resorting to oppression and violence. Man must evolve for all human conflict a method which rejects revenge, aggression, and retaliation. The foundation of such a method is love. End of quote. Love was at the core of his teachings. Love was at the core of the marches, of the sit-ins, of the picketing. He said, love is the foundation and it is the principle of nonviolence. He said, I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into friend. The year before he received the Nobel Peace Prize, he published a book, Strength to Love. And in it he wrote this very powerful and very present message. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. And he went on to write in Strength to Love, hate multiplies hate. Violence multiplies violence, and toughness multiplies toughness into a descending spiral of destruction. The chain reaction of hate begetting hate, wars producing more wars must be broken, or we shall be plunged into the dark abyss of annihilation. King understood what we must do. And what he wrote in 1963, he could have written today. He understood something about history repeating itself. Because look at where we are in this country, around the world. Hate begetting hate. Wars producing more wars. Violence multiplying violence. When the method, the true method towards peace is what? Love. It's love. And so where do we go from here? Where do we go from here, my friends, my beloveds? In 1967, King wrote a book titled, Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community? And in it, he really provided an eloquent response to that question. He said, power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice. Justice at its best is love correcting everything that stands against love. Love is the answer. It's not just in a song, although songs can truly send powerful messages. Yes. Love is truly the answer. And it's within all of us. We were created in love, my beloveds. We were created in love to give love, to share love, and to receive love. I like what Martha Smock wrote. You know that nothing can keep your good from you. You know that nothing can interfere with the workings of God's divine law. God's law of justice cannot fail. God's law is the law of love. It can never fail. When you truly share unconditional love. Martha Smock encouraged us in her writings to remember who we are and to embrace who we are, God's beloveds. Martin Luther King demonstrated and taught that unconditional love and nonviolence are the most powerful methods for change that we can use. He said, peace is not merely a distant goal that we seek, but a means by which we arrive at that goal. Peace with the foundation of love is not merely a distant goal that we seek out there or someday. It is the means by which we arrive at that goal. And so let us acknowledge that we are the peace. We are the love. We are the strength. We are the ones who have the answer. And our brothers and sisters and neighbors have the answer. If they and if we would only go within and bring forth the truth of who we are and what we are. As a closing, I'd like to share one other poem by Martha Smock. And the title of that poem is God Is, You Are. God is love. You are one with love. Love fills your heart and blesses your life. God is power. You are one with power, overcoming power. The power to do and to be is yours. God is peace. You are one with peace. Nothing can disturb or upset you. You are calm and serene. God is strength. You have strength of body, mind, and emotions. Strength of soul. God is life. You are one with life. You feel the life of God flowing through you, a mighty healing, cleansing, renewing stream. God is substance. You are one with substance. From God comes a continuous outpouring of plenty for every need. God is light. You are one with light. Light shines in and through you. You see your way clearly. God is wisdom. You are one with wisdom. Your mind is illumined. You know what to do, and you do it. God is good. You are one with God. You are one with all good. May we embrace who we are. May we live in knowing at depth who we are. And may we practice love, my beloveds. Thank you.